During a live broadcast on BBC Newsnight, the panel discussing whether GB News has broken the Ofcom rules somehow managed to break the Ofcom rules. Oh, the hypocrisy. Oh, the double standards. Oh, the BBC. This is absolutely hilarious. Yesterday, throughout the whole of corporate media, from BBC and Sky News to LBC and all of them, they were having a meltdown over the latest GB News saga. An incident on GB News that was actually handled very professionally, and they just decided to suspend people and release statements, all that, right? Now, there's a fascinating things happening. So the BBC and Sky are inviting a number of veterans and big names, including Gordon Brown, and now Adam Bolton, is not actually taking a nap, but what happened here in this screenshot, it looks like he's taking a nap, but they invited these guys to go on the channels to attack GB News, basically. So they demanded that Ofcom should shut down these channels. There was a problem. Let's go to, firstly, Adam Bolton.
I have to say, I think the complaints have piled up against GB News. I think there is a delicate and important broadcast ecology in this country. I think GB News is trying to bust that ecology, and frankly, what Ofcom should do is shut it down, like it shut down RT.
Do you agree?
Whoa. Like how it shut down RT, Russia Today. So, Adam Bolton believes that just because one person, one presenter and contributor went on TV and without any pre-planning or anything like that, was rude about a woman, right, live, the whole channel should be shut down. Well, let's remind Adam Bolton, the former Sky News presenter, what he did here. You remember at party conference a few years ago when he started shouting at the female presenter and guessed that it was coming? I think it was also Beth Rigby and someone else, started shouting at them and basically swearing, basically being rude to another female, right? Somehow nobody called for Sky News to be shut down. But it's not just about Adam, is it? Let's bring in one of our honourable members of parliament. Oh dear God, this is Caroline Noakes, the so-called Tory MP. Is not really a Conservative, she's a Green Liberal Tory MP, was brought in by the likes of David Cameron when the Liberals took over the Conservative Party. Let's see what she had to say.
Happened. Very few people would have seen this on GB News, and although David's making the point that this is some sort of row over the future of the Conservative Party, it's to a tiny audience. And I actually agree with Adam. I think it should be taken off air. It was entirely predictable that Lawrence Fox was going to come out with a statement that was that offensive. I think what was less predictable would be Dan Wootton's smirking reaction.
Offensive. We've already dealt with the whole Lawrence Fox saga, but just because something's offensive doesn't mean you have to shut down the whole business. Makes no sense. But she said a couple of things. One was about tiny viewership, audience. And secondly, she started ranting about nonsense, right? I said this in response. I said, tiny audience. GB News now has more viewers than BBC News and Sky News on most days. Also, a bit of a reminder, Krishna Guru Murthy on Channel 4 News once called Steve Baker, the Tory MP, the C word, and he was suspended for about 5 minutes, and nobody demanded Channel 4 to be shut down over that. BBC has scandals every 7 hours, I said, with their presenters. Nobody shuts down the BBC. You just need to grow up. If you want to use these arguments, you are going to be exposed. So just try not to make yourself look that silly. Actually, when on these sort of issues, let's talk about Ofcom and their rules, because BBC Newsnight, that panel that you saw, they broke the Ofcom rules themselves. The impartiality, the due process and their diligence that they had to do, their producers and the researchers, because every single person on that panel agreed with each other that GB News should be shut down. There was no opposition voices on that panel, according to Ofcom. That their own lovely regulator. This is what the Ofcom regulation says. The code is clear that when programs are dealing with matters of major political controversy and current public policy and everything else, the heightened special impartiality requirements apply. Specifically, rules 5.11 and 5.12 require that an appropriately wide range of significant views must be included and given due weight in such programs, or in clearly linked and timely programs. So anyone gonna say anything about this to the BBC? Because they clearly broke the Ofcom rules last night. They also clearly broke their own Royal BBC Charter's rules, but no one cares about that, apparently. So this is the irony. They were talking about GB News breaking the rules, so they literally broke the rules while discussing GB News breaking the rules. What a beautiful world. Anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know what exactly happened last night on BBC News Night. I know you guys don't watch it, but I have to do it so you guys don't suffer. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.